Hey everybody and welcome. If you're new to our channel, my name is Jess and we are the Bear River Homestead. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the science and geography curriculum that I've chosen for my daughter who is going into the 4th grade. We've decided to make a switch and I'm really excited to show you what I've got. But before we get too far into it, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and be sure to hit the little bell button so you get notifications every time we upload a new video. Okay, so jumping right into it. Science and geography are two subjects that I have struggled with my daughter for a couple years now, and it's not because it's a difficult, it's not because they're difficult subjects, and it's not because they are not interesting subjects. It's just the curriculum that we have chosen over the last couple of years, it really is letting us down, mostly because it just seems to be way too intensive. And what I mean by that is we were spending hours and hours working on science or working on geography, and she was becoming frustrated, which of course made me frustrated. And there was so much information coming at her in a very short amount of time that she really wasn't retaining much of anything. So after doing a little bit of research, I decided to scrap the curriculum that we have been using. And for both subjects now, I'm going to be using books from Evan Moore. And these are called the Evan Moore Daily. So we have Daily Science and we have Daily Geography. And I'm really, really excited to start using these. I'm going to show you why. So for the science, basically the book is broken up into units, which they call big ideas. So like big idea 1 is a unit on animals. Big idea 2 is a unit on plants. They also touch on basic concepts with electricity, bacteria. There's a lesson in here that explains how bacteria causes cavities in our teeth, which those sorts of topics are always really nice to have at this age. And I will show you what this is actually the lesson on cavities. So it'll have, at the beginning of the week, you have this kind of, 1-page synopsis, all the information that you'll go over. And then each day, you've got a little bit of reading and then a couple of questions. And that's it. I know that probably seems fairly light, but I'm excited about it because, one, it's going to be supplying her with information, but not at such a rapid rate that it's going to go in one ear and out the other. Hopefully she'll actually retain it a little bit better. And it also is going to allow time for us to add in supplemental materials. So when she is doing her week study on beavers, because these lessons are so short, it allows us time to watch outside videos or read outside books, and we're not spending 2 hours a day just working in a workbook. So hopefully, not only is she going to retain more, but it will hopefully be more interesting to her as well, because we will have time to use other sources as well. So really excited about the science. And then the geography looks like this. And it is structured in a very similar fashion. So week 1, you've got your map, and it talks about everything that you're going to learn in the lesson. And then when you get to Monday, there's 2 questions. Tuesday, there's 2 questions. And again, it may seem light to some folks, but it's valuable information. These lessons aren't full of fluff. They're very concise and to the point. So we're not wasting time on just excess. And in 4th grade, I don't expect her to really be honed into, all of these minute details in these subjects. We're still working on big ideas, the big picture, more broad concepts. So my hope is that because the lessons are so short, again, we're going to have time to add in outside sources, which will hopefully keep the lessons interesting. But it's also going to make it easier for her to actually retain the information. And I feel like for us anyway, that's a huge difference between the public school mindset and the homeschool mindset. Public school, they're worried about accomplishing a certain amount of goals in any given school year, and then the children's performance being evaluated based on those end of the year tests. Whereas I think the majority of homeschoolers are more concerned about retention. I'm not necessarily worried about how quickly we get through a book or how quickly we get through a certain level in a subject, as long as the kids are retaining what they're learning. I think foreign language for most Americans is a great example. We generally take a foreign language in high school, maybe a year, maybe two. How many of us can actually speak that foreign language? Obviously, we're probably not practicing it all that much, but you're given so much information in such a short amount of time. You memorize what you have to memorize for the test, and once that test is graded, it's just out there. You've released it to make room for the next week of information that you have to choke down. So with both of these books, I'm really hoping that because the lessons are short, because the lessons are concise, we're going to have better retention. And because I'm going to have the time to bring in outside resources, it'll actually help make the subjects considerably more interesting for my daughter, instead of just having to sit there and stare at a workbook for an hour or two. I did pick up both of these books on the Evan Moore website. I did have a discount coupon for 20% off. A lot of online stores, if you sign up for their email list, they'll mail you a coupon. So I did that and I got 20% off, but full retail is $29 per book. And this is actually the teacher edition. If you had multiple students using the same grade level, they actually have student workbooks that are quite a bit cheaper than the teacher edition. You still want the teacher edition because it has all the maps and everything in it. But if you're trying to teach multiple kids of the same level, you could have one teacher edition and then get another student workbook. I'm pretty happy with the price. Overall, I'm not a big fan of buying brand new curriculum because we are this year going to be homeschooling 5 children total. I don't want to pay top dollar for a curriculum that's going to be written in, and then we have to buy a whole new set for the next year. But at $30, I'm pretty happy. One, because I have high hopes that these books are going to work really well for my daughter, but also because it's self-contained. Everything that she's going to need is in this book for $30. If you've done any research into curriculum, you know that they can range, anywhere from $20, $30 on up to several $100s. So I'm pretty happy with the $30. I'm guessing I will probably copy the worksheets so that we could use it again, or I could resell it for a higher value than if it was written in, obviously. But even if I didn't do either, I would still be really happy with this purchase. All right, guys, that is all I have for today. I will link the Evan Moore website in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have a kiddo that you're homeschooling and you are in search of a science or a geography curriculum, go ahead and like this video. Happy homesteading, y'all.